Welcome to opening day here in Las Vegas. Lots of people are coming into the showroom. Lots of people downstairs still getting their badge. Don't forget you can get that free badge holder at Melrose at any point in time during the show. Just come on up to the 6th floor. We're 618 and 606. We would love to see you here on the 6th floor. We did move from the 9th, but today what I want to go over with you are two of our collections that are very fun. It's opening day. We're having fun. So come on over here. I want to show you this first one. This is Christmas Cheer. And this was in the very back of the showroom in Atlanta, so it didn't get a lot of foot traffic. But here it's a little closer to the front. I think people are going to gravitate towards these fun traditional colors. You'll notice first thing, our designer tree is a white flocked tree because we are showcasing the contrast between the red and the white, which is very prominent in these oversized crisscross candy canes that we have as our tree topper and also as our main focal point inside of our designer tree. As we slide down the tree, the one thing you're going to notice that's another prominent feature are our felt poinsettias. And the felt poinsettias have a very nice red and white piping along each one of the leaves. Now, these are felt. If I reach over and I touch these are very, very soft. They've got the wire so you can shape them in any angle, but they're soft. And that kind of carries over into the other stems that you're going to see. We have these holly leaves that have the snow flocking on them and a little bit of glitter. So that gives you a little bit of sparkle. But this solid green one is doing very, very well because you can pair it up with some little red and white ball thingies, or you can have your snowflake there. The other stem that we have that is made of a felt, and I'm going to show you this one, Brian, because it's just a little bit easier to get to, is this kind of lime green holly leaf with the red. And so we're sliding those in underneath the poinsettia and it looks like they're coming out. This candy cane stem is also a separate stem. So what we've done is we've layered the holly leaf stem, the candy canes, and then the poinsettia. It has a complete look. These candy canes, there are 3 of them, and we might be able to show you this. Here's another set of the 3, and this set of the 3. Now this one I like because what our designers did is they took the peppermint wreath ornament and they just hung it right off of that stem just to give it a little bit extra. See how our metal snowflake is towards the backside, strong, solid color, and then we have our dangling wreath right out here coming off of those lovely little candy canes. We're going to move around the tree. We're going to take a look at some of the laser cut ornaments that we have here. The snowflake with the dangling jingle bell has been very, very popular. And we also have the laser cut merry and bright. And of course, again, red and white. We've got the strong contrast of the red and white with the peppermint and the candy canes coming into focus. There are 2 glass ornaments on this tree that you kind of have to be looking for to see, but they're selling really well out of our past 2 shows. And it's because the gnome is always cute, right? But we like to see that little button nose. And so the button nose of the gnome is sticking out there, is protruding off of this disc ornament. This one's doing well. It's got the sparkle inside, and then it's got the painted gnome on the outside with his candy cane, and again, a little 3D nose. He's also available over here on this Christmas tree, and it's the same thing. We've got a glass ornament. It's 3D, but it's a little bit flat. It's going to pack away nicely instead of something that's larger. But again, the little 3D nose. We have a lot of disc ornaments with those little 3D nose throughout several different collections. That's what you're looking for when you're picking out your ornaments. Make sure you've got that little nose sticking out the side. Before we leave Christmas cheer, one other thing that's doing really, really well, and it just makes sense that it's doing well, are these little wagons. And so you can put a whole set of ornaments in here, some stems in here. You can put your snowman in here. This one's sitting on a little riser, but these little wagons are perfect for showcasing and displaying merchandise. Not to mention customers are going to like them because they look great if you tuck them right underneath your tree and you decorate with little things inside. Now this is a fun collection, but to me, we have one that's even more hip, more eclectic, more trendy, and the 30-somethings are going crazy for it. Let's pop over to Fa La La, and I want to show you some cutting-edge designs. Well, this is a very fun collection, and it is not your traditional Christmas by any means. Your normal traditional Christmas, you've got your green and your red, which is here in Fa La La. But in Fa La La, we also have teal, which is a really hot and trending color. It's got that blue that's a little bit fun. And then we also have pink, and we're showcasing pink and like a lighter color green. And it's not quite a lime green, but it is a lighter color green. So the first thing we're going to look at is this table here where we have a lot of Melrose exclusives. And you'll see that the pattern in the background of this tree, this is repeated on our trays, on our table runner. And again, it's a Melrose exclusive. Now when you look at it, you really kind of have to look closely because we see broad colors that looks like it's been painted, and it kind of has that toll painting look. If you've ever taken painting classes, you're taught to handcraft and to use your brush strokes and show them in a certain way. It's kind of got that. It's how you have your drops where it's thicker goes to thinner, your little sweeps that are across it. And so that carries through on all of our pillows, on our trays, on our fabrics. But they didn't stop the exclusiveness there, and they didn't stop the quirkiness. I mean, we're kind of quirky here in Fa La La. And I love these reindeer, and these reindeer are on the tops of our list right now because they not just have on their little ski sweaters, they're not just have a knee up and prancing through the woodland. Look at their antlers. Their antlers are hollies and berries. We don't have the traditional looking deer in the meadow. They're a little bit different. They're a little bit trendy. They're a little bit odd. And that's what's doing really, really well here in Fa La La. As we move over to the designer tree, you're going to notice that some of the ornaments, they have that, well, they kind of look like an older type style of the ornament for the glass ornament. So when you think about the 50s and the 60s, our glass ornaments themselves kind of have that look. Here's a good example of one. It's got the little bit of the sparkle along the edge, but it has that inset. And you used to see that in, like, I'd say 40s, 50s types of ornaments. And then even our solid colors. Look at all the texture that we have there, a little bit of that iridescent coloring. That's very different. But this tree is put together with not just those blues and teals and reds and that little bit of different green. The fabrics are different here. We have the felt, like we had over in Christmas Cheer, but these are different colors and then different styles. We've got the poinsettia with the leaf, and then this is a stem that happens to have 3 different blossoms on one stem, and so they work perfectly into our designer tree. The ribbon here, you kind of get the idea that somebody stitched this pattern right across this ribbon. This ribbon is doing very, very well because of the detailing, and it's that it kind of goes all together. It's not just about picking colors in Fa La La, it's about picking the style. And so talking about style, I'm going to show you some of our glass ornaments we have that are, again, unique. This is a gnome Santa. Well, you can't really even tell, is he Santa or is he a gnome? He kind of fits both bills. It's whatever the customer wants to see. And he's got a basket on where he's carrying a little tree with him. He's not my favorite. The next one in that set is this red bird, and he's wearing a hipster beanie. I mean, come on, we've got a cardinal with a hipster beanie and a scarf on his back. He's flying through the meadow. He is unique. But my favorite one that I want to share with you is this one right here. And this is our gnome. And he is riding on a cardinal. Look, he's got the harness and everything right on him. Little jingle bell on our bird. And this gnome is riding on a cardinal. This ornament is doing very, very well in Fa La La. This is one you want to take a look at and make sure to bring into your store. Beautiful colors here. The jingle bells are fun. That jingle bell stem up there, I couldn't help myself. Every time I was in Atlanta and I'd walk by, I'd just jingle the whole thing of stems. It's just fun. I like it. It makes me happy. I want to show you a couple of things over here, again, that are eclectic. They kind of have that kind of a dated little bit of charm to them. They're this red or pink or blue or however you want to think about it, trees. It's a set of 3 LED lit. They've got the sparkle on there. Again, you kind of feel like it's got that style from the 50s, but at the same time, it's super hot, it's trending, and it's modern. And that's what our 30-somethings are going gaga for when they come into this collection. They want that. It's Instagram ready, it's cute, it's not green, it's not traditional. They want something that's hot and happening. Same thing's true with our blue all-paper tree. This is a sustainable tree because it's 100% paper. They like that idea. It's also in that cool teal blue, and it has these little ornaments that look like somebody has sat down and kind of knitted their scarves or knitted their sweaters or look at this one, it's got a little bit of stitching on the front of it where it's stitched across there. The reindeer's got his scarf and it's got little stitching on the scarf itself. Very detailed. My favorite one is this little guy up here, the little mouse, and she's got her little pink on and the little guy's got his green on, but here's what you need to know. They have positionable legs. So you can use this gal or the guy, and you can position them on that ski lift that we had over in Snow Park, on your tree branches. You can sit them inside of a wreath. It's up to your imagination, all the places you can put those positionable little mice. I'm going to show you one more thing before we leave Fa La La. It's kind of a different spin than what we saw in Atlanta. The designers did something very unique here with our shelf toppers. Well, here we are looking at our shelf toppers, and they're completely different here in Las Vegas than what we showed you in Atlanta. And I think this is kind of contributed to the fact that the designers, we told them do something different, and boy, they did. We sell these 3 glass candy snowmen ornaments, which are doing very well coming out of the shows, but they're sold in a set of 3, and the 3 are that aqua teal blue color, red, and the green. And the green's kind of not quite lime, it matches this holly garland. So the green color matches the holly garland. But what they did is, instead of showing you like they did in Atlanta where they showed you all 3 colors on a shelf topper, they decided to split them up because they're designers and that's what they can do. They look at it and they say, I want to do a red shelf topper here with the holly and the red that is selling really well, and this is selling very, very well. The double is selling better than the single if you're trying to make a choice there. And they showcase the red with the little poinsettia stems that each have 3 coming off of it all the way across here. Looks fantastic. But then they decided they wanted to also show us what the blue could look like. So let's say if we buy that set of 3, we buy several sets of them, you bring in the blue, you could have a whole different scheme over here. And here they showed it with that ribbon that we were talking about that has the stitching on it, which is very, very popular. And then just some snowflake ornaments with a little bit of that blue. And then they carried it all the way across the top. That is a fantastic set of 3 ornaments that is showing very well, is selling very well, but the designers split them up and did something different with them. Well, thank you for joining me in the 2 fun collections here in the Melrose showroom in Las Vegas. I'm going to leave you with the gnomes because the other thing that I really like that our designers do, somebody asked me yesterday, how do they decide? How do they know what's trending? Well, a lot of it comes from the feedback that we get from customers. Things like, we need a gnome that can be face down, hanging this way or going on a tree branch. So can we create a gnome that has a belly balance to him and has a little bit of weight? Sure, we can do that. We need a gnome that has fun little legs that can swing off of our shelves when we have them in the store. We can do that too. So this is the area where you're going to find the fun, the different, the unique things, and you should always talk to your Melrose sales rep about the needs that you have that you find in your store. Thanks for joining us this morning. We'll be back with you again tomorrow to show you some different looks here in the Las Vegas showroom.
To the desk.